grit, blue-collar, togetherness. These things describe the township football team and their villagers. Last time Union and Huntington played on the field, it was nothing short of an instant classic in this SBC history. Will the Huntsmen play spoiler this week, or does Union roll on to stay undefeated in the league? We'll find it right here at Ride the Wave. Woo! Alrighty, as you see back here, we have some 4 signs that we got to keep going to see who's going to win the best sign. Coach, I think you should go ahead and get that ready, all right? So right here, I'm going to read them out to you before I pick. So we got, to your left, you think you can beat us? Now that's fantasy football. Right after her, I tried to change my password to Uniota, but Gmail said it was too weak. And then after her, I just hope both teams have fun. That's what, hey, round of applause for her, for the sportsmanship. And then the last one, guard the yard, get loco for Hoko. All right. I think the one that I have to go with is the second one. I tried to change my password to Uniota, but Gmail was too weak. You can come up here and collect your prize. What's your name?
Macy, page 2.
All right, Macy, do you like McDonald's?
Yes, I do.
Congratulations, you won $10 free to McDonald's. Woo! Round of applause for Macy. All right, Coach, how did you think about that?
That was very clever. I think it's awesome what you're doing. I think the atmosphere and what you're doing for the league. I know as a coach and administrator myself throughout the league, this type of stuff for high school sports is really, really cool. And I appreciate the effort and appreciate you having me on this week.
Oh, Coach, we love having you on more than you love being here. I promise you that. You make me sound at least a little bit smarter. So with that, Coach, I am Clay Archer. This is Coach Combs. As he is the speaker for SVC Sports Talk, as you used to know, now with expanding the zone that you can find there on YouTube, talking about great things, not just in high school sports, but and the rules and everything about that with his brother Matt. So, Coach, I wanted to talk to you a little bit here. We've kind of had an off-camera discussion about the facilities, you know. Everybody, it seems like in the SVC is just kind of upgrading their facilities. Can you speak a little bit more on that for me?
Yeah, Clay, I think it's really cool how we're starting throughout our league to really give back to our student athletes. I know at Paint Valley we're really proud of ours. I had a chance on the YouTube channel there for SVC Sports Talk to Coach Gallion down at Piketon, giving me an all-access. Their facilities are incredible. I've had a chance to tour the facilities here at Huntington, and their upgrades are really good. I've been out to Zane Trace. Been up to Westfall twice this year already. If you haven't had a chance, SVC fans to go up there and see their new facility. Really, really nice. And I'm sure I'm missing some, but just throughout the league, I just think we have an obligation to give back to our student athletes. I know as a baseball coach, our baseball coaches throughout the league take a lot of pride in each of our facilities and so forth. So it's just so important. Thank you to our athletic boosters everywhere. The hours and really the volunteer hours they put in is just insane. Just so thankful for that, and it's really a neat thing to be a part of in the SVC. I appreciate what you're doing with Dalton Black and some of the different things this week. That's what's so cool in the SVC. I've been a part of this league for almost 40 years now. Manager, junior high player, high school player, coach, teacher, AD, media. And it's so neat how the SVC, we're close enough, I've always said, to hate one another in a sports sense. Yeah. But we love each other when real life takes over. And that's what's so cool about SVC Strong. And to see what you're doing this week kind of showcases that in a prime way. And just real proud to be a part of it in a small way.
Okay, Coach. And again, what you're talking about, we have done a fundraiser of our own, trying to help raise some money here for Dalton Black. As I'm sure you guys know, he was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, but as he did on the football field, he's kicking its butt, so we just wanted to help and raise some money. Right now, I think we're sitting at $337, Coach, so Friday night you will be seeing me call the game in a Huntington jersey again as a diehard Bearcat. So, I cut myself this morning bleeding black and gold, so I hope my black and gold family is still loving me out there. Coach, so I want to jump into some games last week. We had the opportunity of going to cover the Zane Trace and Adina game, and I was honestly blown away by a couple of things. One, Adina's offense came out absolutely firing. I mean, they were hitting on all cylinders, big play after big play. That's really kind of what kept them in the game. But Zane Trace had their quarterback, we've been calling him Gunna the Stunner. He showed up in a big way to help get Zane Trace that win. Coach, what's a game from last week that kind of jumps out at you?
Well, I think I'd give you a couple in terms of a combination of Adina and Westfall both jumped out at me in terms of the amount of points they were able to score. I think on paper, a lot of people, whatever that means on paper, the predictions, had some of the top four, bottom four playing. But if you really take a look at Adina and Westfall, really jumped out there and put a lot of points on the board. So that really caught my attention. And I think when I look at the defense that Huntington has been proven to play, Southeastern, some of their skill kids, had a chance to watch them now on film twice. I think we have a little bit more parity up and down, and I think you're starting to see that in some of the reports that are coming in on Friday night, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. Yes, maybe some teams pull away later, but you're seeing some really competitive football, and I think that has a lot to do with it.
I think so as well, Coach. I also think what they're doing out here at Huntington is amazing. I think that they have the offense, right? I just think they're a little young, so obviously kind of finding the ways and everything. But as we kind of talked about in that intro, last time that they were on this football field, Coach, it was pretty controversial how that game ends. Just you see it however you want to see it on the other way. I think it was an instant classic. Going into a game like this, though, I think I'd rather be the team that's mad rather than the team, that was on the winning side of that, especially being at home and everything like that. But somebody that could come on and talk about this offense and what it's been doing this year is the amazing quarterback that's pulling it together and has a big throw in his hand at the end of this show, the one and only Noah Potter. Noah, how you doing today, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Big crowd that we got out here. Huntington really showing out for us. Can you speak about being part of the student body and what it's like to be a Huntsman?
Oh, it's great. Like, everybody shows out for the games, and we have a great time at the volleyball games. There's a big old student section, and they do contests and stuff to win. I think it was T-shirts and like Krispy Kreme donuts and everything.
Oh, heck yeah. Me personally, I think I should have been there because Krispy Kreme is top of my list, man. Speaking of contest, you do have a big contest at the end of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, this man will have 5 throws from the 25-yard line. If he hits a goalpost on any of them, the student section gets free pizza on Friday night. How do you guys like that? Yeah! All right. No, you a little nervous for your throw?
A little bit, but
hey, that true star right here. So, no, we kind of want to talk to you. You guys' offense this year, you've really started to find your groove here. You guys are scoring some good points. I know you got some good coaches out here. Can you just kind of speak on what your guys' year's been like so far?
It's been a big change from last year, not passing the ball whatsoever and just running the ball play after play. So it's really different to try and change our game up to throw the ball more.
That's awesome. And then, so you guys are coming into a big week. Obviously, Payne Valley Huntington has a big rivalry, but I know Huntington and Uniola has its own rivalry as well. How do you keep the troops focused on the mission at hand and maybe not get a little too carried away in the rivalry talk?
Just keep them focused during practice, have everybody doing the right thing, play after play, and nothing else really.
Heck yeah. Coach, did you have any questions?
Well, just as a coach myself, I've just always appreciated just your desire to compete and some of that competitive nature. Just talk to people about being a multi-sport athlete and some of the different things that go into that and the commitment of being a student athlete as well.
A lot of hard work and staying in the weight room and then keeping your nose in the study books and just keeping the grades up and just practice. A lot of hard work.
Good stuff.
That's good stuff. No, honestly, great interview. You seem like an awesome kid. I'm not going to keep you too long because I know you got to get that arm loose for that big throw, all righty? Everybody, the one and only Noah Potter. Now, Coach, you talk about some two-sport athletes. There was one two-sport athlete here that was pretty good himself. He actually went on to play some college football. Now he's back to give some offensive advice. He's one stud himself, the one and only Elijah McLaughlin. Elijah, so, I kind of alluded there in your intro. You played football here, basketball, and I'm pretty sure baseball as well, correct? And then you go on to play some college football. What's it been like coming back as a coach from what all you did as Huntington? Now you're on the other side of it.
Yeah, it's a different perspective. You kind of have more appreciation for my coaches.
Right.
It's a lot of hard work, a lot of long nights, but it's worth it because we got a great We got great players, we got great staffs, and we obviously got a great community. So I'm glad to be back.
That's awesome, man. I want to know, has there been a time yet where you've seen something on the field and you're like, oh, I went through that exact same thing when I was a player. I know what to say to this quarterback or this player at this exact time.
Yeah, I mean, I've had the privilege to play quarterback my whole life, and obviously being the quarterback's coach,
Right.
It's a tough job. So sometimes you feel for Noah. Sometimes
Right.
if he's getting smacked around a little bit, but no, I mean, yeah, if you're around something for so long, you start to know some tendencies and know different tricks. So.
Right. Now, Elijah, you've been a part of some great teams here, not only football but basketball and baseball, like we alluded to as well. As we can obviously see with this Dalton Black thing and just knowing the Huntington community personally, can you kind of speak to what it's like to be a part of the township?
Wow, it's a great question. This place has been my home, my whole life. And when you talk about a community, a family, I can't explain just the support that this community gives is unreal. The reason why I went off to Taylor University, the college that I went to, is because I wanted to come back and bring the wisdom that I've learned to this community because it has given me so much. They say it takes a community to raise a kid, and they raised me up, and it's the least I can do to come back and try to help because, again, this place is home, and I really appreciate the township family. They're just so supportive.
That's really awesome, Elijah. Coach, you got any questions?
Hey, I wanted to build on that. Elijah, you've always been one of my favorites. And you're talking about the township, and I think each of us throughout the SVC can relate to those particular things in our home schools. But I was talking about in the opening about how the SVC's always had a unique ability to have the rivalries in a sports sense. But, man, when real life hits, it's kind of SVC strong, and there's such a love for the community. Can you take what you're saying about the township and expand on that a little bit for everybody in terms of the league-wide support that you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here with two Bainbridge guys right now, but you see, I mean, he bleeds black and gold, but he's still here doing our games. So just the family. I mean, we talk about you go to the games. I think we have the best league in the state of Ohio because one, we're so close in distance and proximity, and you feel that whenever Bainbridge plays someone, you kind of root for them, or the non-conference game, you kind of root for the league. So you just feel the support. So.
Yeah, and talking Bainbridge wise, it always felt like when we played Huntington, yes, it was a rivalry, but it wasn't like a hatred rivalry. It was like a brotherly rivalry. Right. It's like all bragging rights. I could personally say I'm glad that whenever you were coming up, I think I was a senior and you were a freshman. I didn't have to deal with you, buddy. Everybody, one of the biggest stars to come out of Huntington, the one, the only, Elijah McLaughlin. Coach, that's two good interviews there. What do you think?
Yeah, it really is. It's nice to get the perspective from the student athlete, and then an elite student athlete that's coming back and as a young coach is going to be outstanding at that as well. And it's just it's neat to watch them go through those progressions, and guys that I've coached against makes me feel a little bit old, but again, really proud of him and excited to see what he goes on to do here, helping kids, giving back a little bit.
I'm really excited too. It's one thing when you see players like me, maybe not been a star player, but I get to come back, I get to coach, everything like that. It's another thing when you get to see those star players that don't just leave and then kind of forget where they came from. Come back, give back to the community, give back to the players, to the team that did so much for them. One person that we're talking about star players here, Coach, I think has been a star for this Huntsman backfield all week, all year, and pretty much for the weeks to come here, Coach. The one, the only, DJ Crocker. So, DJ, first off, thank you for coming on the show. Now, I've been watching some of your film, and I just have to ask, are you okay with us putting this out there? Because you've been hitting kids so hard, you might be on the FBI Most Wanted list.
I'm all right with it.
Okay, thank you so much. So, DJ, kind of wanted to ask you some questions that we've been asking here recently. Again, Township's just kind of a great place. You really don't get anything like you get here. What does the Township mean to you?
It means everything to me. I don't even live in the Township. I moved here middle school, and there's nothing else like it. I love it here. I'd wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Heck yeah, man. I don't think they'd want you to be anywhere else either. I just want to kind of talk to you. You guys have been kind of like Noah said here. Last year, you were real run heavy. I mean, run. This year, Coach Beeler looks like he's doing a great job of getting a good balance, a little bit of run, a little bit of pass. Can you kind of talk on that a little bit for me?
I mean, I'm absolutely behind the switching up to about a 50-50% offense. Last year, like you said, we were real run heavy. I'm glad that we're passing around, keeping defenses on their toes more.
And talking about defenses, you're a two-way player yourself. You're not only just running over people, you're hitting people super hard. Can you kind of talk about so when I was in school, there was one game where I played offense, then the field goal, then the kickoff, then the defense, then the punt return. It gets a little tiring. Can you kind of talk about what you do to just stay in shape to be on the field as much as you're on?
Staying in shape, it's just an off-season thing, working out in the off-season, conditioning, always moving. I mean, not really taking a huge rest period off.
Right. Coach, you have any questions?
Yeah, I'll ask a similar question that I asked earlier. This young man is good at baseball players I've coached against in the last 20 years, to be honest. Elite athlete all the way through. And I'm always, every time I get a chance to ask a high school student this with young student athletes out there listening, I always ask about the importance of playing multiple sports. We live in a day of such specialization, and you see so many people say, well, I'm not going to play this sport because I'm going to concentrate on this. You obviously haven't bought into that. Could you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I like being a multi-sport athlete because things you learn in one sport will benefit you in another sport. Like I catch, so the toughness I get from football helps me a lot behind the plate too. Being smart, patient, and baseball really helps me out on the football field as well. They help each other out.
Well, Clay, I know I'm ready for him to graduate. How about you?
As a Pay Valley guy, I'm tired of you running all over the place. I think that was well said, though, where you say you can take one sport and take it and bring it to another sport. That only doesn't show you're a great athlete, but you have a great IQ of sports, you know what I mean? Knowing how to bring that from one place to another. DJ, one question I want to ask you before you get out of here. I say you run hard, you hit hard. Obviously, I'm sure you watch the NFL. Who's somebody that you try and emulate your game after?
I really like Mo Williams from Ohio State. Just big, brolic running back, runs people over. Doesn't start over, what's his name, Henderson?
I don't know.
Travion Henderson.
I'm a Notre Dame guy, buddy.
he doesn't start over Henderson, but I love it whenever Mo Williams gets in.
Well, that makes sense. If he's running people over, why he'd be an idol for you. Everybody, the hard-hitting DJ Crocker. Well, Coach, one more great interview here. I'm sure my Pay Valley people might be cringing right now, but it has been nothing but a pleasure to be here with the township. It's been great hospitality from the coaches to the amazing student section to the AD out here. It's just been nothing but amazing.
Yeah, it is. It goes back to what we talked about in the opening. You like to see each and every school take pride in their school. It's one of those things where the school pride and that connection to the school used to have such a great passion throughout the 90s and so forth. I thought we got away from that a little bit, and that's what's so exciting about some of the work that you're doing and so forth, and starting to see this as I go and I cover so many different SVC sports and the student sections and the different involvement. That's what makes high school sports special.
Awesome. Well said, Coach. This might be surprising to you, but you took the words right out of my mouth. So, Coach, I think we've had a great show here. I think it's time to get down to the pick'ems. How about you? Alrighty, so first game up, we will have Paint Valley versus Westfall. Paint Valley coming in 3-1 overall, 1-0 in the league, of a big win against Southeastern. Westfall coming in 2-2, 0-1 in the league, a heartbreaker to the Shermans last week. Coach, I don't think it's going to surprise anybody. I'm going to take Paint Valley in this one, but I do think it's a close game within 7.
Yeah, I like the Bearcats in this one. But I'm intrigued by the matchup. Outside of the West Jeff game, the Paint Valley defense has been really, really good, and they're going to really get tested this week. I had a chance to watch Westfall now a couple different times, and offensively, their skill kids can really, really play. So I like Paint Valley in the game, but that's the matchup I'll really be intrigued by.
Yeah, what you said with the offenses there, Coach, it's really scary as a defensive coordinator when the number one passer in the league last year can kill you with his legs as well. I mean, dual threat quarterback there in Bryce Wickline. Going on to our second game, we have Zane Trace 2-2, 1-0 in the league, playing against Piketon 4-0, 1-0, still on their chance to try and get a gold ball. I got to watch Zane Trace last week, Coach. I'm interested to see what happens this week. Carter Langley out with an injury last week. Does he come back? If he's not 100%, if he does come back, how does that leg handle him? If Gunner the Stunner has to come up, I think he honestly steps in that role. He did a great job last week. But I think Piketon's defense and their running game mixed with their passing game is just too much for the Pioneers. So I'm going to take Piketon in this one, Coach.
This is a really tough one because throughout the entire preseason, I felt like people were turning their back on Zane Trace a little bit. I thought they had a lot more back than maybe people were giving them credit for. I thought they played a really tough non-league schedule. But as the weeks go on, especially here in this past week, maybe I'm starting to drink the Red Streak juice a little bit. I've always been a big fan of Coach Gallion. This is a really tough one for me, but I think I would lean Piketon here, and I don't know that I would have said that a couple weeks back.
So, Coach, going on to our next game, I think we have a good game in this one this week. We'll have Southeastern. They're 1-3, 0-1 in the league versus Adina, 0-4, 0-1 in the league. Now, Southeastern has shown good stretches of offense this year. Last week kind of got off the path there. I think they only scored 9, but I think that's going to be an outlier on the season this year. I think they've got it figured out. But Adina, man, they played Zane Trace last week, and they looked really, really good on offense. Just honestly, a blocked field goal here and there and a big punt return by Zane Trace is the big factor in that game. And Adina has definitely been putting up the points this year, Coach. And I think that's what's going to get them the win. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair, but I think Adina comes out on top.
Yeah, we agree. Again, I like Adina. Again, I've watched Southeastern. I like some of their skill kids. I think they're going to have some success scoring some points. But for whatever reason, this Adina offense may be slow out of the gate. Now, keep in mind, Adina played a couple really tough opponents too. Really, Adina's only let one game get away that maybe they should have won. So I think I'll be interested to see them progress into the second half of the season with a first-year head coach, and they're in Adina. Yeah, I like the Warriors. I like their running game. I like some of the points they score. I can see both teams getting on the scoreboard throughout the first half. Maybe that Adina running game being a little too much into the second half.
And like you said, Coach, that Adina team, they just don't go away no matter who they're playing. They've had a bunch of fourth-quarter explosions of points. So, Coach, here we're going to get out of the SVC for a couple of games. We have Chillicothe 0-4 versus Logan 1-3. Now, this is the game, Coach, I've had circled on my calendar since probably about week 1. Chillicothe has just played an absolutely gruesome schedule. I mean, coming off Harvest Prep last week, they had St. Charles on there. I mean, they've playing some good teams. I feel like this Logan team is around the same kind of level where they're at. I think we're going to get a lot of answers on what this Chillicothe team really is this year going into their league play. I think they're tired of being on that losing end. I think I got the Cavaliers taking this one, Coach.
Well, I'm not going to pretend to know as much once I go outside the SVC. Over the last 10, 15 years of media work, I've concentrated so much on the league, but I am a big fan of Chillicothe sports and the coaching staff there. And I agree with you. As I research a little bit of what they're doing, man, their non-league schedule was just insane to this point. Yes. And so I think coming in, you look at some of the matchups of Logan. I was looking at some of those today. I think this is an opportunity for the Cavs to get a win. And then as they get into league play, if I'm not mistaken, I don't have that in front of me, Chillicothe doesn't play Jackson until week 10. So, like, if they would get this win, get in the league play, I certainly think they've got a chance to get on a little bit of a roll here.
For sure, Coach, and I think that Week 10 matchup against Jackson could be one that everybody's wanting to see here soon.
Trace has a nice team too.
That's true. Yeah, they came up with a big win Week 1 over a very, very good Waverly team. Speaking of that Waverly team, Coach, I think you just said you'll be actually at this game. Waverly 3-1 versus Portsmouth West 3-1. The battle of the black and orange here this week, Coach. I got to see Waverly play in Week 3 against Uniona. Man, do they have some weapons with Jace Hurd and Mason Kelly and just some all-around talent there. I haven't got to see Portsmouth West a whole lot, but what I've been reading in the articles and the tape that I've seen, they're not going to just be an easy out there for the Tigers. I think this is going to be a close one. I can see it being within a field goal, but I got to go Tigers here, Coach.
Yeah, I'm going to have an opportunity with this game being moved to Saturday night to jump in with Dewey Daly and call the game for Sosa. So a lot of times if I'm calling a game, I don't like to get too much of in the rooting interest, but just to give a football. And now I agree with you. I think from what you see, man, that's a good league down there. It's a really good league. That has some depth to that league. And these two programs on a Saturday night stage, that's going to be really entertaining. We were just talking about facilities. Waverly has one of the best around. And, yeah, I've always liked Waverly myself too, kind of that local team and so forth. So I'd like to see the Tigers come through. But, again, just looking forward to a great football game to calling that with Dewey there on Saturday night.
Yeah, Coach. All righty, now the game that you guys have all been waiting for, the game of the week, the Huntington Huntsmen versus the Unionota Shermans. Huntington's coming in, looking for their first win of the year, looking to play spoiler against the Shermans. The Shermans are looking to keep that undefeated season going. Coach, who are you liking in this one?
Well, I've got to make sure that I let everybody know before I say the pick in this environment that I am a 1995 grad of Unionota. So as I come on here, from a football analysis standpoint, I do like the Shermans in the game. But as I said in the pregame, I do really like the direction that Huntington's going. If you look at Huntington's schedule and the way it looks on the back end, as they continue to progress, I think some of their defense was a little ahead of the offense. I'm starting to see some of the offense come on. This Unionota offense is becoming a little bit more complete as well. I think they had question marks in the running game in the first couple weeks. Those started to be answered a little bit more. But again, this Huntington defense is difficult to run against inside. So that'll be something if they can make Unionota one-dimensional, maybe to kind of keep your eye on. But as always, as I said, final score aside, I think a lot of times what we're seeing in these first 2 to 3 quarters of these games, it just takes 1 or 2 plays to flip. You know, you watched that last week, in the Unionota Westfall game. Westfall outplayed Unionota for a quarter and a half. 1 pick six going the other way, and the game completely flipped. So, in these rivalry games, it just takes 1 play. A lot of times that can really flip things and get Lady Mo on your side.
Coach, I think you're 100% correct with that Unionota Waverly game. Unionota has all the momentum. Waverly does a hook and ladder going into halftime to win. I'm expecting a big game out of Noah and DJ. Like I told you kind of off air, Coach, I wouldn't want to be the team playing the team mad, hungry, looking for that first win. With that being said, I think Unionota gets a super squeaky win out this week against the Huntsmen to keep that season going. Now for the moment that you guys have all been waiting for, Noah Potter here is going to have his name either hung in the rafters by the student section or he's going to be absolutely belittled tomorrow. And we're going to have it right here as he is going to attempt 5 throws from the 25-yard line to hit that goalpost. If he hits that goalpost 1 out of 5 times, free pizza for the student section. Noah, you ready? All right.
Is that 25 yards?
All righty, so we have Trevor Medley out here that just got caught last week for skipping work to be here. So he's going to be out there to make sure it goes at least from 25. You guys excited? Yeah! You guys ready for some free pizza? Yeah! All righty, Noah, this is all on you, so we're going to go throw number 1. Let's get it underway. All righty. First throw, and it is, missed just by a couple of inches. Just a couple of inches. Gabe Beardsley with a bomb back to Noah for his try number 2. All right. Try number 2 of 5. All right. So it's just a little short there. A little short. You have to hit up here. All righty. Second throw a little short. We'll go for our third one here. Just a little short. Just a little short. All right, that's throw number 3. Noah has 2 more throws underway here. Just missed. Just missed. Just missed. Noah, we'll give you 1 more from the 15. 1 more from the 15, all the marbles. All righty. Noah has 1 more throw to win you guys free pizza. Let's get a cheer going. It's underway, and it is. Just a little short. We'll give you one more try, Noah. This is the last one, I promise. The throw is up. DJ, now I'm going to come to you here. What are you thinking on these throws?
I think Pot just needs to, I don't know, just lock in. Yeah.
Should we give him one more?
Give him one more shot.
All right. Noah, DJ talked me in to one more throw. One more. DJ, you think you can hit it?
I could drill it. Absolutely.
Okay. So let's see. So DJ's going to see if Noah can hit this. Noah throws it away. Now, DJ, do you think if I give you a throw, you can hit it?
Stupid question.
All right, DJ, let's get out there. Let's see if you can hit it for him. Guys, DJ's going to try and bring it home for you. The running back came out. He wants to call his number. I said, can you hit it? He said, that's a stupid question. DJ, 2 throws. Let's get it going. The throw's underway. A little high. Okay. DJ, you have one more throw, and then there's no pizza. Let's go, DJ. Let's go, DJ. Let's go, DJ. Just a little short. Well, folks, there's going to be no pizza here for Huntington unless DJ can hit it one more time. You know what? You guys still want some free pizza? All right, let's give it to you. Free pizza is going to be sponsored by the Giovanni's of Chillicothe. You guys, way to go. Where's my best sign winner?